Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. If you've been in the northwest DeWitt County area in recent weeks, you've probably noticed portions of the Alta Farms 2 wind turbines spinning. It's a part of the final touches of the commissioning process, and now Green Energy officials told Regional Radio Monday. Officials with the project say the last few outstanding items with the county will be finalized in the coming days, but did not have an exact time when they would go live for commercial operation. If you've witnessed the turbine spinning, it's part of the commissioning process. Dates are set for this year's DeWitt County 4-H Fair. Kendra Wallace is the 4-H coordinator for the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt County, and told Regional Radio on the WHOW Morning Show Monday, fair dates for the 4-H Horse Show and general shows are now set.
Fair season dates, I would definitely mark your calendar for the Horse Show, July 1st and 2nd at the DeWitt County Fairgrounds. And then the DeWitt Macon Pyatt Livestock and General Projects Show will be July 6th through the 9th, again here at the DeWitt County 4-H Fairground. And even if we didn't have any one exhibit, we'd still encourage everyone to come out and see the awards that are handed out for the kids and all their hard work. We've got kicking off the Poultry Show Friday, July 7th. The Goat Show will also be later in the afternoon, July 7th. Then we have the Swine Show Saturday, July the 8th, and the Beef Show on Sunday, July the 9th. Sheep Show Saturday, July the 8th. And then Rabbits is in here somewhere. That's also Saturday, July the 8th. So
right.
Went a little out of order there. Apologize, but we will have more marketing to come. But the fair book is available online.
Wallace credits the local 4-H fair as a family affair that brings out lots of people to the DeWitt County 4-H fairgrounds. She also touts the fact the 4-H Fair Board has made many updates in recent years.
I enjoy all of it. It's like a big family reunion, and I love seeing all the kids get together. The creativeness of the general projects, anywhere from, the clothing and textiles, those kids blow my mind every year with what they are able to do. Same thing goes for visual arts. I love going through the visual arts section at the fair, but near and dear to my heart is always the livestock. So yeah. I really enjoy going to the Swine Show and the Beef Show. We actually now have the camper hookups. So if anyone is interested in camping out there during the fair, they can contact Dan Enos at the Fair Board. And then we also have a brand new wash rack for our large livestock as well.
Visit extension.illinois.edu/DMP for more information on the 4-H Fair in DeWitt County. The Illinois Office of Broadband and the Illinois Broadband Lab are hosting broadband listening sessions around the state.
They have been tasked with putting together a plan to invest federal money to improve broadband services around the state of Illinois, and this could be as much as $1 billion coming from the federal government. So this is a real opportunity to improve broadband services for those areas that need it, and they're hosting listening sessions around the state to develop the plan on how to invest that money. There's been a couple of listening sessions held over the last few weeks in the southern part of the state, and they've now made some announcements on upcoming meetings for other regions. They are doing this based upon Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity regions throughout Illinois. And so the upcoming schedule in what's called the East Central region, there is a meeting on April 12th at the Champaign County Farm Bureau from 6 to 7 p.m. and April 13th at Danville Area Community College from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. In the central region, more central part of the state, on April 25th, there's a meeting at the Macon County Extension Office from 5 to 6 p.m. and April 26th at the Lincoln Library in Springfield, the Carnegie Room there, from 6 to 7 p.m. And then as they move over to the west, in the western part of Illinois, the West Central region, they have two meetings. Both of them are on May 3rd, both at the Macomb City Hall, one during the day from noon to 1 p.m. and one in the evening from 6 to 7 p.m. So these meetings are intended to allow the public to come in and share their needs for broadband, their concerns with maybe the broadband service they have or don't have now, and help kind of guide that plan for how the state can provide or have a program to provide service to those areas that need it.
It's Bill Bodine, who has been following the process. He serves as the Illinois Farm Bureau Director of Business and Regulatory Affairs. $4 gas is on the table for the summer of 2023, and $5 won't be out of the question as OPEC has cut oil production. OPEC has announced that it will begin cutting production by more than 1 million barrels per day beginning in the month of May. Significant jumps are expected down the pipeline, according to Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick Dehaan.
Probably after watching oil prices dive to $65 a barrel because of the banking crisis in early March, OPEC decided, surprisingly, to cut oil production. And that happened Sunday, kind of piecemealed together. Russia and Saudi Arabia cutting 500,000 barrels a day each from production. This is a decision that was rather surprising and unexpected. We're less than 10 cents a gallon away from seeing the statewide average hit $4 a gallon, though in Bloomington, prices tend to be a little bit under the average. Prices right now about $3.59 to $3.89, depending on where you're filling up. It's looking like, obviously, some of these stations only 10 cents away, that it certainly could happen. I would hope that it may not be the entire summer, but it's looking probably like a better shot than 3 out of 4 that we will hit the $4 mark. The question is how long it'll last.
Yes, buddy. Price reports indicated last week prices were up over 15 cents per gallon, averaging $3.83, and the national average rose a few cents as well, but still below the Illinois average, sitting at $3.43 a gallon. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
I'm Len Casper, the voice of the White Sox Radio Network. Follow the Sox across central Illinois on the Big 1520 WHOW.
Sponsored by Kirby Medical Center, Burgess and Klein Insurance, JW Painting, Dubson Heating and AC, and First Mid, all in Monticello, and ServPro of Piatt DeWitt counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction.
Around Illinois, communities are seeing the benefits of harvesting the wind. In a recent study released by Power Up Illinois, clean energy projects have paid over $300 million in property taxes statewide to date, over $53 million within McLean County alone, helping build new school facilities, improve roads, and keep the tax burden off local property owners. Apex Clean Energy is a leading developer of wind and solar, partnering with major companies like Cargill to bring investment to local farming communities. Let's harvest wind together.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. A 6-run sixth inning and 5 Maroons errors did in Clinton as Champaign Centennial doubled up Clinton 10-5 in non-conference high school boys baseball from Champaign Monday afternoon. Colton Walker and Aiden Toohill each collected a pair of hits, and Mason Walker doubled. Noah Bass went 2 innings and allowed 3 runs with 2 hits, walking 2, and striking out 1. Brock Wilson took the loss for Clinton, firing 3 innings, allowing 5 runs. 4 were earned on 5 hits with 3 walks to 3 strikeouts. Toohill allowed 5 hits and 2 runs in an inning of relief. Clinton drops to 2-5 overall. They will host Warrensburg Latham this afternoon. Hear today's action right here on WHOW and its many digital platforms. Ike Young fired 5 innings of 1-run ball, backed by another Jacob Trusner long ball as Monticello took down Champaign St. Thomas More 9-2 in Illini Prairie Conference High School Boys Baseball Monday in Champaign. Young struck out 6 and walked 2, allowing just 1 hit. Trusner homered in his second straight game, finishing 2 for 3. Eli Kraft, Colton Vance, and Logan Chupp finished 2 for 3 for the Sages. Vance and Chupp had RBIs. Monticello moves to 8-1 overall and 3-0 in the Illini Prairie. They'll travel to Mattoon this afternoon. Landon Smith and Liam Smith drove in a pair of runs, while A.J. Bailey pitched 2-hit ball over 4 innings, leading Mount Pulaski over Edinburgh 10-0 in 5 innings Monday in non-conference high school boys baseball action in Mount Pulaski. Landon Smith blasted a home run and doubled as a part of a 2-for-4 day at the plate. Evan Cooper doubled, tripled, and drove in 2, finishing 2-for-3 for the Hilltoppers. Champaign also tripled. For Mount Pulaski, Bailey struck out 8 over 4 innings and walked just 1. Mount Pulaski goes to 9-1 overall and will host Cerro Gordo Bemint this afternoon. The Monticello Lady Sages offense tallied 25 hits as they routed Champaign St. Thomas More 27-0 in a Illini Prairie Conference high school girls softball from Champaign Monday. Avery Schweitzer drove in 5 to pace the Monticello offense. She finished a home run short of the cycle. In a 10-run third inning, Lindsay Treebaum, Marissa Miller, Sadie Walsh, Cassidy Stoffel, and Emma Storger drove in runs. Kylan Matthews hit a home run. Reese Patton picked up the win in circle for Monticello. She fired 4 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts and allowed 3 hits. Monticello goes to 3-5 overall and 1-1 in the Illini Prairie Conference. They travel to Clinton Wednesday. Hear Wednesday's action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com starting at 4:30 p.m. Blue Ridge mustered just 4 hits and committed 11 errors as Toledo Cumberland took down the Lady Knights 11-2 in Illini Prairie Conference girls softball action Monday in Farmer City. Alexis Wicke led the Lady Knights, going 2-for-4, and just 1 of the 11 runs allowed was earned by Ellie Schleiper. Callie Lewis struck out 14 across 7 2-run innings for Toledo Cumberland. The Lady Knights dropped to 4-6 overall and moved to 2-1 in the Lincoln Prairie Conference. Blue Ridge hosts Leroy on Thursday. Hanser Alberto hit a 3-run homer. Dylan Cease had another strong outing against the Twins as the White Sox held on to beat Minnesota 4-3 Monday. Yasmani Grandal had 2 hits and drove in the other run for Chicago, which had to remove shortstop Tim Anderson in the 6th inning with left knee soreness after he collided with a base runner. Cease, the American League Cy Young runner-up last season, gave up 3 runs, but only 1 was earned after 3 errors by the Sox. Cease allowed 3 hits with 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. The Twins hit just 2 for 48 and were scoreless in 16 innings in 2 games against Cease last season. Ronaldo Lopez entered with the tying run on third base, and 2 outs in the 8th. He struck out Michael Taylor before pitching a perfect 9th for his 2nd save of the season. Alberto committed 1 of the errors by Chicago, allowing the Twins to score their first run in the 3rd inning, but he answered in the next inning with his first homer of the season. Kenta Maeda surrendered 4 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings for Minnesota, making his 2nd start since August of 2021 after recovering from Tommy John surgery. Trevor Larnach, who has reached base safely in all 10 of his games this season, had an RBI single in the 4th after a separate defensive miscue by the Sox allowed a runner to reach 3rd, although no error was charged. Eloy Jimenez took batting practice on the field before the game. He has been on the injured list since April 4th. Joe Kelly was put on the 15-day injured list with a right groin strain. Kenyon Middleton's contract was selected from AAA Charlotte, and Jonathan Stiver was outrighted to Charlotte. Pablo Lopez makes his 3rd start for Minnesota today. Chicago counters with Lance Lynn. Lopez has allowed 1 run through his first 12 1/3 innings. Lynn has given up 10 runs in 10 innings this season and has surrendered 15 runs in 15 innings in his last 3 starts against Minnesota. Nico Horner's soft single off Matt Brash with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th inning scored pinch runner Nick Madrigal and gave the Sox a 3-2 walk-off win over the Seattle Mariners on Monday night. Madrigal was inserted as a pinch runner and stole third off Brash, setting up Horner's winning hits. Keegan Thompson had worked out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the 10th. The Cubs were 2 outs away from a win in regulation until Jared Kelnick launched a home run off closer Michael Fulmer that struck the right field message board. The homer came 1 inning after Seattle's Cooper Hummel was thrown out trying to advance from second to third on a grounder to short. Cubs left-hander Drew Smyly threw 5 innings of 2-hit ball after allowing 7 runs in 4 2/3 innings in his season debut at Cincinnati. Smyly relied on a sharp knuckle curve and had 7 strikeouts. He retired the first 10 batters and was supported by exceptional defensive plays in the third by third baseman Patrick Wisdom and second baseman Horner. Seattle scored its lone run off Smyly in the 4th. Ty France doubled off a diving Miles Mastrobuoni in right field, and A.J. Pollock lofted a sac fly. Smyly retired the final 5 batters he faced and struck out the side in the 5th, all on knuckle curves. He threw 11 consecutive curveballs at one point. The Cubs broke through against Luis Castillo in a resourceful manner after Ian Happ stole second base. Cody Bellinger fouled off 4 consecutive pitches before capping a 7-pitch at bat by yanking a double down the right field line, scoring Happ and snapping Castillo's scoreless streak. At 14 2/3 innings, Eric Hosmer hit an opposite field single that scored Bellinger with the go-ahead run. Hosmer is now 12 for 18 lifetime against Castillo. Mariners right-hander Teoscar Hernandez leapt against the wall and robbed Dansby Swanson of an extra base hit to end the 3rd. Saya Suzuki and left-handed pitcher Brendan Hughes will continue rehab assignments with AAA Iowa. Manager David Ross said in a best-case scenario, Suzuki could rejoin the Cubs on its upcoming 6-game West Coast trip starting Friday at L.A. Chris Flexen will oppose Cubs right-hander Hayden Wesneski tonight at Wrigley Field. German Marquez pitched 5 strong innings before exiting. Alan Trejo tied a career high with 3 hits as the Rockies beat the Cardinals 7-4 Monday night. Colorado got production from the bottom of its lineup with young shortstop Ezekiel Tovar producing a pair of doubles while Trejo added 3 singles and 2 RBIs. Steven Matt struggled for a second straight start, allowing 6 runs and 9 hits in 5 2/3 innings. He surrendered 4 runs over 5 1/3 innings in a loss to the Braves last week. Jordan Walker singled in the 7th to extend his hitting streak to 10 games, now the longest by a rookie for a Cardinal to start their career. Nolan Arenado's 9-game hitting streak came to an end as he returned to Coors Field. He dazzled with the glove, though, starting a pair of double plays for the Cardinals, and Arenado earned 8 Gold Gloves in his 8 seasons with the Rockies. Rockies left-hander Kyle Freeland has yet to allow a run over 12 2/3 innings, heading into his 3rd start of the season tonight against the Redbirds. The Cardinals will counter with Miles Michaelis. Marcus Johansson scored 2 goals late in the 3rd period, and the shorthanded Minnesota Wild beat the Chicago Blackhawks 4-2 Monday night. Matt Boldy and Gustav Nyquist also scored for Minnesota in its 2nd win. Philip Gustafsson had 39 saves in his 2nd straight start. Johansson's 18th goal, a wrister from in a 2-on-1 with 6 minutes left, tied the score at 2. It was the Wild's 14th shorthanded goal of the season, breaking the franchise record. Johansson then put Minnesota in front when he got a nice pass from Bodie and beat Alex Stalick on the glove side with 3:13 left. Nyquist closed it out with an empty netter with 1:01 left. Marcus Foligno's night with the Blackhawks defenseman Andreas Englund with 7:40 left sparked the Minnesota's fight with the Blackhawks defenseman sparked the Minnesota comeback. Foligno held England's helmet in the air when the skirmish was over. Anders Bjork and Joey Anderson scored for Chicago in its 11th loss in 12 games. The Blackhawks are in the mix with Columbus, Anaheim, and San Jose for the worst record in the NHL this season. The Blackhawks tied it when Anderson jumped on a loose puck in front of Gustafsson With 1:49 left in the first, it was Anderson's fourth goal in 22 games since he was acquired in a trade with Toronto in February. Bajork then put Chicago in front with his first of the season. 2:23 into the second, Buddy Robinson's shot was stopped by Gustafsson, but the rebound went right to Bajork, and the winger got just enough of the puck to score, despite largely whiffing on the shot. Blackhawks captain Jonathan Taves skated for 18 and a half minutes in what could be one of his last home games with his only NHL team. The three-time Stanley Cup champ received a loud ovation when he was introduced with the starting lineup. The Blackhawks are at the Penguins on Tuesday. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.